Good day, everyone. In this new story, and this is a follow on of a previous story that I did, where homeless people were fined up to R1,000 and a lot of their goods were confiscated by the city of Cape Town. I always tell people be careful what you wish for because this DA run city of Cape Town does things differently. It's about their way or no way, and they don't care how the poorer people in society feel. They can never govern from the perspective of the poorest because the people that fund their party are some of the greatest elitists in the world. So, in this article, the city of Cape Town to return belongings to homeless after agreement in court. And News 24 makes it sound very amicable that there was this agreement in court, but in the subheadlines it reads the city of Cape Town has been ordered to return the belongings of the homeless living around the castle in the CBD. And you'll remember when I covered that, many people were outraged that homeless people were being fined and that their belongings was literally stolen, because that's what it is, by the city of Cape Town, the DA-run city of Cape Town, and the mayor Jordan Hill Lewis, in a statement in the council, didn't know who he needs to please, the DA's funders, the rich people of Cape Town, or whether he needs to please the people that actually care or have humanity for those people that are homeless. So they've been ordered to return the belongings. On Wednesday. Indifuna Ukwazi filed a notice of motion with the Western Cape High Court to order the city to return tent structures, materials, and other belongings. It follows after the city conducted an operation to address criminal activity and improve safety near tented camps in the CBD. Now, the irony of that statement: the city of Cape Town has been hauled to court again over its alleged treatment of the homeless living around the castle and the city centre. Activist organisation and law centre in Difuna Ukwazi brought a court application to prevent the city from taking the belongings of the homeless living around the castle. Now, court orders like this has come out before, and the dear city of Cape Town continues to violate the law. In other words, they are criminals. The problem is because they are elected officials, and the parties that were elected, remember, we don't elect these councillors, the actual party chooses these people. How can you literally bring them before court? They can do as they please under the current system. If we have a direct election system, you can just lock them up like you should be able to do. This followed after the city had conducted a multi-departmental operation to address criminal activity and improve safety near tented camps in the CBD, including around the castle precinct. That is trying to water down the fact that you are literally stealing someone's belongings. The city enforcement services conducted crime prevention operations when necessary, with drugs confiscated and arrests made. Well, then you target the crime and the drugs. You don't steal someone's tent, and you don't steal their clothes and belongings. On Wednesday, Indifuna Ukwazi filed a notice of motion in the Western Cape High Court to order the city to return tent structures, materials, and belongings back to the occupants within 48 hours. It also urged the court to grant an interdict to prevent the city from carrying out evictions against the homeless living in the foreshore area, pending the outcome of the Gelderbloem High Court and the Equality Court applications that challenge the constitutionality of its street bylaw and waste bylaw, which means that the city's bylaws they've created are actually unconstitutional, and that is the challenge before the Concord. Both parties settled, and an agreement was reached between the city and Indifuna Ukwazi. A founding affidavit by Jocelyn Thomas, a homeless woman living on the foreshore for nearly 6 months, pointed out that on the day of the city's operation last month, 4 city law enforcement vehicles arrived where she was living. And I quote, some of the personal belongings taken by the law enforcement and the EPWP Expanded Public Works Program workers included identity documents, asylum seeker permits, mattresses, HIV/TB medication, clinic cards, personal documentation, birth certificates, clothing, toiletries, and money, she said in her affidavit. Thomas added that law enforcement officers and EPWP staffers confiscated all materials and structures. Indifuna Ukwazi urged in its notice of motion that it was clear that the confiscation were conducted without a valid order of the court. In sum, the first responded, the city has failed to show any lawful basis for the disposition it effected on the 25th of May 2022, which means the DA run City of Cape Town is just taking the law into their own hands because they always think that they are better than anyone else. Thus, the deprivation of our clients' homes and possessions was illegal and in contravention of their constitutional and legislatively protected rights, the organization said. And then it says, according to the city, the purpose of the operation at the castle was to conduct waste clearing and many other things. You can find the link to this article in the description below this video. The way the city of Cape Town are handling things and the way the mayor, Jordan Lewis, is trying to pussyfoot around the situation is not helping. You need to help people to become self-reliant and independent of government and corporate control. If this is not your focus or your aim, Jordan Lewis, you are not trying to fix the problem. What you are trying to do is be a career politician, because that's exactly what you are. You should be ashamed of yourself if you really care about these people. You're not going to talk as if you care for the homeless and then let these thugs go out and do this to people that have nothing. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want more content like this, please subscribe. Click the bell icon so that you can get notifications for new videos, and you can follow us on our other social media platforms by looking at the description below this video as well as the first comment, where you will find all the links. Thank you very much. Till the next video.